sugar is fine. So nice, so nice. I got you. Come on, y'all. When I hold you in my arms, know that I can't do no wrong. When I hold you in my arms, can't do me no harm. And I feel that I would. I feel good. Knew that I would. So good, so good. I got you.
About to do an interview. You love how I just.
And you know what's beautiful? Everybody in the world can see. You know?
Hi, hey you. Yes, my CFO was saying, hey you. Say hi. This is Let me. Can I interview you for a second? How about we do that? This is the legendary Ace Michaels. Tell me a little bit about yourself. I'm gonna interview him right now.
First of all, how did I get to be legendary, dog? I'm a legend.
Right. Well, you have
I'm so far from a legend.
You have your own.
You gotta do
Facebook
something
blowing
first to
up.
be a legend, don't you?
Oh, my man Brett Doty just tuned in. Brett, what's up? This is my head of well, how do you say Brett filming in?
He's the head of what?
He was my girl, my best friend, my artistic director just tuned in. Brett was my lighting man.
Your lighting man.
I miss your face. We need to get together like today, like soon. Anyway, yeah, my artistic director just signed in. Jamie
Nice.
Lynch, star of, well, she's a star of a few things actually. Jamie is starring with Zoe Bowie with Mr. Chris Phillips.
Yes.
She's all over the place. She's down at Red Rock tonight. She's at Cleopatra's Barge at Caesars, and she's also at Fremont Street. I just blew you up, girl. That's my girl. She says hi. Jamie is all over the place. Johnny Buscema, he's a huge guy in the aviation industry,
Yes,
a good friend of mine.
Yes,
Brett
he is.
Doty, oh, you missed me too. Oh, thanks, babe. Yeah, we have to get together soon. My friend Brett Doty, he's now with Cirque. With Love, right, babe? Cirque. He's head electrician, something or other.
You know what I want to say?
Jamie's like, what? Yeah, right, what's going on right now?
you're
I
the
don't know
first
where
person-
I am. Look at this.
You're the first person I've met that actually knows how to use Facebook Live probably the way it was intended to be used.
Oh, really?
Like, usually
Nope.
people, they
Oh,
put it
wow.
up and they're like cooking in the kitchen or something, and it's like, this means nothing to us.
Oh,
But you know how to
that's
actually
right.
engage the people who are tuned in.
Oh, I'm an engager.
That-
Am I not an engager? I am. Oh yeah, Copperfield. Oh, so sorry, Brett. My friend is at David Copperfield, which
Right.
is a phenomenal show. Check it out. Like, he's about to interview me. I was not prepared. I rolled up in my sweats. It's all good. And I just went to the bathroom, put on some makeup.
You got to
Because-
love this
so anyway,
world we's living in, man.
I have no
You got
idea what
to
we're going
love
to talk
it.
about. I don't know that I'm allowed to talk about certain things, although I would like to, but I cannot. But yeah, we're gonna have some fun.
I'm gonna
shut
start
it
the
down.
show.
All right.
Hey, it is
Peace out.
the Ace Michaels Show. Thank you for joining us. Thank you
Oh,
for
he
tuning in.
started.
Thank you
We're
for
on.
sharing. Thank you for liking, loving, sending all your comments. We appreciate that. If you ever want to be on the show, all you have to do is you can call us. It's 702-540-3498. Or, hey man, you don't like to call people. I know I know how to. You ain't got to explain it to me. All you do is email. You can email beyondthebuzz@yahoo.com, and we'll get you on the show today. My guest is Charlene.
No one can say my last name. Let me hear you say
I
it.
say
Go ahead.
it's Carabeo.
Carabeo. Close.
Carabeo. Why Bayo?
Okay.
But it's BEO. What's Bayo about
It's
it?
Carabeo. It's Filipino.
Say it one more time.
It's Carabeo.
But I like the way you just said the way you just said it.
Sexy,
was
huh?
like it was like
Carabeo.
your look went like in my mind. I was like, I was like, whoa!
When I say Carabeo.
Whew.
I never say it like that.
That's
I
hot.
Start saying that.
That is hot.
Charlene,
that will find you a man. If you say your name like that, that will get you a man.
That will find me. I need to go live with that moment.
That will find
Ace
you
Michael
a man.
says I can find a man by saying Carabeo.
Real talk.
I am single.
Real talk. I noticed you didn't have a rock on your hand.
Well, I had, I was married. I was happily married for a period of time that didn't quite work out, although I do have my greatest
Those things
blessing.
happen. Yeah.
Greatest blessing of my life sitting over there, my son, Marco. But yes, I put this back on to celebrate the fact that I have an amazing son. So the wedding band is on the other hand. I mean,
and there it is. Now, I want to talk to you about something that I know is close to your heart, and that is Jesus.
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
Hallelujah.
Because you're super religious without being overly like annoying religious. You're not.
Oh goodness.
But you are enough. Like that arrow is at least pointed up and maybe more to this side.
I love
you know what I mean?
how you are choosing to talk about this first.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jesus.
Because it's real.
Thank you. I wasn't quite
about.
sure where you were going to go with that, but now I'm like, oh, heck yes.
Yeah. So you're a believer.
I am beyond a believer.
Yeah.
I have been very fortunate my whole life to just walk through doors. Being in the entertainment industry, of course, you occasionally get a door slammed, you don't get the knob turned and then opened. However, I have truly been blessed with open doors throughout my life, and I always believed in a higher power. I always believed in someone, because there's absolutely no way that I could have walked my journey without God in my life. And I've had a number of wonderful, wonderful friends who were kind of like, hey, you need to maybe, open your eyes and open your ears and welcome this man into your life. And I'm like, okay. And so, I would dabble into it.
So did you have an experience where you were like off on the wrong path and you realized?
Oh, I've had a number of experiences.
Wait a minute, I got to get this right. So you did. So you were a person who was without faith, and then you got faith.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say without faith. I've always had faith. However, I've had like near-death experiences to where it's like, okay, I just walked out of that and I was, what's the word, unscathed. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I fell asleep at the wheel. I think that was my freshman year of college. It was 10 o'clock in the morning. I was just up late. I was hanging out with my boyfriend at the time. And I'm one of those people that get hypnotized by the road. So I was on cruise control trying to get back to college, and I fell asleep at the wheel. Just at a point when when I was veering off to the right, and I veered off to the right, the gravel shook my truck enough to wake me up, and the guardrail came right at my face, and I went, ah! So I turned the wheel, the left tire blew out, I rolled 3 times down a hill, and slid for about 100 yards and stopped about a foot before oncoming traffic going the other way. This is on the highway, and it's like, yeah, I'm literally saying that, my heart's racing. But at that moment, I slid upside down, and my first thought, because it was my sister's truck, I literally said, May's gonna kill me. You're
right. You're like, this whole time you're going, she's gonna freak out.
No, she's gonna not freak out. She's going to kill me. Right. Kill me. And it's funny because I've told this story a number of times, and every time I tell this story, I start to cry, because it's very sad for me that I went through that tragic accident.
But that could have happened to anybody, though. Like,
yes,
that wasn't because you were on drugs or something. That just could have happened.
I just fell asleep.
Yeah, that's an accident.
I had Diet Coke in between my legs. I had the windows open. I knew that I had a problem with like dozing off. I had the radio cranked, and ironically, I slid like I ended up on my knees. The truck was upside down, and my hand was outside of the truck, like I had driving gloves on because at the time, well, I still think I'm cool. I wanted to be cool, so I wore driving gloves. My hand was pinned underneath the truck.
Ugh.
And the tragedy is the fact that my sister never forgave me for that accident, and my father, you know, it was God that came, in my mind, it was God that brought this trucker to help me. And I thought I was going to be upside down with my hand pinned for like a long time, but it ended up being literally like 10 seconds. Somebody came, are you okay? Are you okay? And then within another 10 seconds, which is like this, they brought a jack to lift the truck up off my hand.
Right.
And then, so I don't remember the
so
rest.
Luckily, somebody was sent who actually had a jack.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And the fact that I could have been decapitated. I could have killed other people.
That would have ruined my show, by the way, so I'm happy
That was horrible
I'm
to
sorry.
say that. But you know, the tragedy of it for me was the fact that it was my sister's truck. I didn't want to total my sister's truck. She didn't speak to me for 2 weeks, and my dad, I'll never forget, said to her, "You can replace a truck, but you cannot replace your sister."
She's over it now, right?
I don't know.
What's her problem? We need to get her on here. We need to have an intervention.
Oh, intervention! Well, maybe she'll see this one day. I love my sister to death. Let me just say that. I love you, May. You know, we all have our stuff, and we all go on our different paths, and she's kind of veered off into her own direction, and we haven't spoken to her in 4 years. You
know what's interesting? Like when you're talking about your story, because you know when somebody's talking about their story, your mind is going in your story. It's just human nature. It's not just me, just so you know. Everybody's mind does that. Whenever you're talking, they're thinking about their story. So you're telling the story, and I was thinking, you know, I actually never had a near-death experience except the 2 times I met murderers.
Oh.
That was as close in my life. Like I've met 2 individuals that later I found out they were killers, like real killers. Like they killed someone, murdered people. And I didn't know that when I met them, but then I found out later. I was like, dude, that was the guy. You know? So that made me feel like...
But did you feel like you were in danger being around this murderer? Because
no, but I've never had...
What a crazy topic that we're talking about.
Yeah, but I mean, I've never had I didn't fall off a helicopter. I never, went trimming under my arms. Like, whoa, wait a minute, you hit a vein. Like, nothing like that ever happened. But I did probably was in a situation where I was in a room just like this with a person that it wasn't until later that I found out that individual
you just never know, though.
did some heinous stuff.
Right.
Some Game of Thrones type stuff. For real.
You know, you could be at the grocery store, the guy next to you could be you just never know.
Exactly.
You never know.
So do you think do you think that your faith kind of has protected and guided you through your career?
1,000,000%.
Into life?
I could
you think if you didn't
cry
have
about
faith
it right now. Sorry.
Yeah, if you think if you didn't have faith you would have been lost?
Absolutely.
Could you have achieved the same success that you have if you had? Because some people do. Some people don't believe in God.
I have to just answer for myself. Right? I don't believe so, and I have gone through a number of trials and tribulations within the past couple years. In fact, it's been the hardest couple years of my life, and it's really interesting because now that I'm speaking about it, I have a good friend of mine who was just saying that he was reduced down to a stump, and it's like it's only at that point where God really challenges you to be close to Him and be true to yourself, and then at that point is when you grow. In your hardest times of adversity is when you really grow.
Right.
And I'll just admit it, I was at rock bottom this past summer. It's been a rough summer, but I kept the faith, and ironically enough, and this has happened a few times in my life. However, at this moment, this may be the best time in my life, because on November 10th, I chose to have lunch with a friend of mine who's been in my life for over a year. And he said to me a year ago, saw me just running late, and he says, he put his window down and he said, "You all right?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm just running late, can't catch up today." He goes, "You need to call me." And it's a man. So as a woman, I'm like, okay, why do I need to call you? And he said, "Well, do you know what I do?" I said, "I have no idea." He says, "Well, I'm a life coach." And this is Mr. Robert Chandler. Robert Chandler, I'm blowing you up right now. My man. It wasn't until a year later, things have I kept the faith, and all this hardship, opportunities started to happen. I've been fortunate enough to keep my toe dipped in the pool. I'm the lead singer cover. Can I say this?
Of course.
With Jennifer Romas at Sexy Westgate, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or maybe just Thursday, Friday, Saturday. One of the hottest shows in Vegas, Sexy the Show, starring Jen Romas. I am fortunate enough when Gabriella Versace is not singing or if she's sick, I am lucky enough to step in. And being an entertainer since I was 18, professionally since I was 18, I've done cruise ships. I started theme parks, then cruise ships. I got off the cruise ship. I saw Miss Saigon at the Kennedy Center. I bought tickets for my parents and myself on the top row, on the back, and the people were literally, the dancers were this big, and I watched it. And I said, I could do that.
Yeah.
And I just subscribed to Backstage magazine. I knew that there was a bus and truck tour. I didn't even know what a bus and truck tour was. And like, if my friends get to see this, they're gonna laugh at me. But anyway, I got to the audition, and they were like, "Is this your first time auditioning?" And I said, "Yes." And they said, "Where have you been?"
Wow.
And I literally was like, on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
But the show had been, Miss Saigon had already been in existence for a good 3 years. And, Leia Salonga was like, oh my gosh, Leia. And ironically enough, I got the Broadway tour. And then within 6 months, in the rehearsal period, Sala Iwamatsu, she starred as Gigi.
I love these shout outs.
I know, these shout outs. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so active in social media. I love it. But my girlfriend, during rehearsal, she had the role of Gigi Vantron, which is actually the character Crown Miss Saigon in Miss Saigon. But the story doesn't actually revolve around Gigi Vantron, who's Crown Miss Saigon. But I remember Sala in rehearsal, in the bathroom, she said to me, by the way, I'm only going to be here for 6 months. So, and it was announced in the first rehearsal that I was going to be the Gigi understudy. And I had no idea. They never told me. But like when they introduced me to the cast, they said, this is CHARLENE Carabeo. And she's going to be understudying Gigi. And I went, okay, cool. Had no idea.
Right.
And then literally once Sala left, I have a picture of it when the Broadway directors and choreographers, they circled around me at one of the cities, and then they said to me that I was going to take over the role as Gigi Vantron.
Now let me ask you a question.
That's another blessing.
Yes, it is. Because in Miss Saigon, I don't know that much about it, but I know you got your clothes on.
I did have my clothes on.
I know a lot about the Sexy Show.
Broadway.
And I know that, and by the way, you're a great looking lady too. I mean, you're definitely one of the best looking cookies in the bag.
Oh my goodness.
So I kind of hope that you're
So
topless
sweet.
in this show.
I am not.
But you're not.
It is not necessary. No, sir.
It's not necessary.
It is not necessary.
So, but the other girls are.
They are.
So
They're
how
topless.
does that play in with your faith? Do you ever say, okay, I'm doing this
That
show.
is a
These
great
girls
question.
got their clothes, they naked up in here. Like,
No,
what?
that's a great question. Because of the fact that I have been blessed with a number of amazing friends, and then being in Las Vegas, you're exposed to a lot of different things, and when you're out, you're having dinner, and then there's maybe this place next door that people want to go into, and I have had no qualms with sexuality, being in a topless show. I worried about it, my family, what they would think, my mom and dad, especially my dad, oh my gosh. And then being in Miss Saigon. Miss Saigon, the cast, the female cast, we were bar girls. That's a very respectful way to say hookers.
Okay.
Bar girls.
I didn't know that.
So we were bar girls. And being Gigi Vantron, I was the most sought after, the eldest of bar girls that actually got crowned Miss Saigon. So I'm like, ah. And at the time I was 21. And so I literally had stomach pains for 2 weeks prior to my dad coming to see me in Miss Saigon.
Yeah.
But then my dad literally, for I don't even know how many of the first few times he came to watch, I came out of the stage door and my dad would be weeping.
Yeah.
So thank you Jesus, that he wasn't like ready to kill me being in this show, being a bar girl, and I had to do some very Jody Moshe had me doing some very sexy stuff.
In Miss Saigon?
That's our associate.
See, I'm not
yes.
knowing. I don't know anything about this
Miss
show.
Saigon is the story is very similar to M Butterfly.
Okay.
And so.
But it's not a racy show, is it?
A little bit.
Is it really?
Bit. So you have all the bar girls, and then we have our pimp, which was the engineer.
Are we talking about the same
Yes,
Miss Saigon? That I,
and,
what
and,
in the world? I
yes,
like,
and this is based in Vietnam, and we have soldiers over there, and then a lot of the American soldiers would have children with the Vietnamese women,
sure.
and those children are called Bui Doi. So we open up our second act. They're called Bui Doi. I wonder if that's the right key. I don't have perfect pitch. But it's a very moving solo with all of our men behind it.
You kill me. You're so musical. I wonder if that's the right pitch. If not, transpose what I just said in editing.
Like, is that the key?
That's awesome.
But anyway, so yeah, we're all over the place. There's
but
ADD
when
kicking in.
you do a show that's a sexy show,
yes,
would you look at it kind of like the same way an actor would that has to recite a certain line, like the guy that plays in Breaking Bad does not cook crystal meth on the weekend. Probably doesn't know anything about crystal meth. He doesn't care about crystal meth. He's an actor.
Yes.
He's playing a role.
Amen.
And that's what it is, right?
There's the bottom line. I have been blessed ever since I did Miss Saigon, then I did Flower Drum Song, pre-Broadway musical, and then I started to be in bands. After I gave birth to my son, I got back into the industry, and my ex-husband was the one that actually brought me to Vegas, and I really did not think that I was going to return to the stage. He's a big wig at the Mandarin Oriental, and I actually took a break, and I was the senior food and beverage manager at the Mandarin Oriental in New York City. So I wear a lot of hats. But I came back to Vegas. One of my original partners back in 1988, Alex Oteza. What's up, Alex? He asked me if I wanted to return to the stage, and I said, okay. And I went for an audition for Peep Show. And he called me after the audition, how do you think you did? And I said, I have no idea. The next day, I got the contract. And the next thing I know, I was in a show for 5 years. I was in Peep Show at Planet Hollywood. Again, a topless show, but I was a lead singer, which we didn't have to take our clothes off.
Right.
Thank you, Jesus. I just, that's not a choice that I would like, I would make for myself. I just don't think it's necessary. If that were imperative, I wouldn't, out of respect for my family and myself,
Sure.
It's just not something that I choose to. So going back to your thing,
well,
we're actors. We're in shows. It's a production.
But it's different for women in this society. It's
True.
different for women. Like, I would never go... Like, if someone said to me, listen, you can have your own show. You can be a talk show host on NBC, but you got to show your junk every night. Like, really?
Woo.
That's...
Yes.
First off, ain't nobody trying to see that.
I love this. We're hitting some controversial stuff here.
You know what I'm saying?
On the buzz.
Ain't nobody
We're
trying to do
buzz.
that. Yeah.
But
for women, and especially in Las Vegas, New York, LA, Chicago, Toronto, it is. It's like they'll give you a job, and they'll say, "Hey, listen, we want to hire you. By the way, can you try on this bathing suit? And if you look good in this bathing suit, you definitely got the job." But
this is a huge topic that we're hitting on right now because now my mind is thinking this.
Yeah, isn't that kind of hardcore? That like
it is.
What's the female experience where it comes to that?
Well, it's tough because being that I've been in entertainment since my teens, I celebrate the opportunities, and I think as an entertainer, you have to just open yourself up to all of your options, or you just get very clear about what you want to do, and then it just becomes about choices. What direction you want to go, and every choice that you make can take you into this direction, but you just never know unless you take those steps. And I'm about to embark in something very exciting, a new chapter in my life, which I am unable to discuss right now.
Next show.
However, but being that I'm an entertainer, an active entertainer in Las Vegas, I did open my own company, LVIP Entertainment, last year. I was fortunate enough to work with the likes of Mr. Tommy Ward. Tommy Ward, huge. He is a young singer. He's kind of similar to Frank Sinatra, Harry Connick. Tommy Ward is already signed with Quincy Jones. And I was in a show called Island Heat at the time, Treasure Island. The owner, Mark Green, allowed me to produce shows in his theater. So I produced Tommy Ward. We put up his show, boom, standing room only. Broke all records, thanks to his mom, who was phenomenal. Anita just helped fill up the room. Tommy Ward is killing it right now. I met I told Tommy we need an opening act. I met the three card. Well, they used to be the three cards. They're the Cardinelli brothers. The three card, they are huge right now. I produced them next. I wrote a show around them, which is called The Story. We're about to resurrect their act because they got signed after doing the show at Kahunaville. They got signed by an LA producer. Boom. They're killing it. They have songwriters. They're doing photo shoots. They're going back and forth to LA because of the fact that I'm working with a lot of young adults. It's an important thing. Here we go back to your image and your journey, and I'm excited to be able to influence kids as well as, honestly, I just started another company right now, To the Next Level. I don't know if you know, I just posted something, To the Next Level, and I'm excited to be able to create opportunities if I can help in any way that I can. I have been blessed with a gift, and I'm celebrating my gifts, entertainment, the gift of the gab even. I just have this thing. God allows me to go into places and make things happen.
Now let me ask you this, because we're running out of time. I'll get probably two more questions.
Okay.
But speaking of creating opportunities, and
Yes.
kind of back to the other topic of how the women always get thrown under
Yes.
the sexy bus.
But it's a good bus sometimes.
Hey, don't
Get
get me
thrown
wrong.
under the sexy
I
bus.
love to get a pass on that bus. But do you feel like, and think about it before you answer, do you feel like there are more or less opportunities for women in the entertainment business?
I have to answer this in this way. I feel like there are equal opportunities. However, for the women, we are portrayed in not the best light. Which now that I have my own company, To the Next Level, I have discussed this as one of my dreams with my bestie, my best friend. I call her my wifey. My mom thought that I was I gotta say it. My mom thought that I was gay, thought that I was homosexual because I keep saying my wifey. But no, I have the most amazing, most beautiful best friend in the world.
Well, tell your mom it takes more than that to be gay.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot more that has to happen.
Right? So I'm not even gonna go there. You should see.
You have to sit your mom down with the diamond and be like, now listen, Mom, this is when a man and a woman and Marvin Gaye
put
music.
The camera on you. Yeah. But anyway, so she and I have had visions of glorifying women because in Las Vegas, there's Jersey Boys, there's Human Nature, there's even Boys to Men. There are a bunch of male things, and I'm giving it away, but that's okay. It's a doggy, whatever.
It is. Well, it is what it is.
But we would like to portray women in a different light, a more glorified light. There's,
just so you know, guys get tired of it too. Like
sure
we get tired. No, we do. We do.
I'm gonna turn that camera around.
In the quietness of our
we get
own
tired
theaters,
of it. I don't know.
we get tired of seeing a woman start off a James Bond film as a neuroscientist, and then by the end of the film, all she can do is help me, James.
Help me, James.
You know what I mean? We get tired of seeing that.
Yeah, but how exciting!
Not real tired, but
you look at the Oprah Winfrey's, and you look at like the wave of people just wanting to be good again.
Sure.
I'm not. Let's not. I was gonna go down the politics route, but I won't. We even had Hillary close to being president.
Sure.
But it's an exciting time for women, and I would like to celebrate that. And so the fact that I'm in entertainment, I'm trying to reinvent myself, which is why I'm starting my own company, To the Next Level. I'm happy to help whoever I can help, and I have that gift to be able to do that. Oops,
and that is what up.
And it's a wrap.
No, we're good.
Oh, okay.
Hey, but we are out of time. Time is never our friend. I got literally a minute.
Okay.
So in this minute, what would you say to someone who's starting off, male or female, who's starting off their career right now? They want to be where you are today. What would you say to them?
I'd say a lot of things. However, it just comes down to what's in your heart, what you are, what means the most to you. Stay true to that. Be strong with it. If you have God in your life, absolutely keep praying and keep that faith strong because He will guide you through, and He is a light that can shine through you and bring you to where you're supposed to be, to where you're meant to be. And I've been blessed to be able to do that. If you don't have God in your life, it's really okay as well. Just be strong. Just got to keep believing in yourself. There's a lot of people that are gonna be like, oh, if you can be whatever you want to be. It's a tough world out there. I have a son, so it's just keep believing in yourself and keep yourself surrounded by good people.
And that is what's up. It's the Ace Michael Show. Thank you for joining us. Hey, if you ever want to be on the show, make it happen. Come on and speak your mind. Other than that, if people want to contact you on the www, where do they go?
Right now, I'm just heavily on Facebook. CHARLENE Carabeo. I'm on that's my maiden name, Carabeo. But most know me as Charlene Tapiner. Charlene Carabeo, but Tapiner's in parentheses, but Charlene Carabeo. 22 Charlene, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. I'm really not that active with all that stuff. Maybe I should be, but Charlene Carabeo.
That is what's up. Hey, y'all, thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Out.
Thank you.